topic. First of all, I'll give you a quick revision for the topic which we have completed in the last video. Then we will continue our next point. Okay. So first of all, we have seen the connective tissues flow chart, right? So connective tissue is actually we have seen in the form of three points, like loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue, as well as we have seen some specialized connective tissue. Okay, so loose connective tissue are what? Loose connective tissue would be having the further two division, that is maybe the areolar and the adipose connective tissues. We will see in detail about the all term, but firstly we have to understand the terms. And in the dense connective tissue, we are having the dense regular and dense irregular connective tissue. Okay, dense regular and dense irregular connective tissues. Okay, then in the specialized connective tissue, we will see the bone, we will see the cartilage, as well as the blood. Okay, so these few terms we have to understand. So for that, what is important, first for that we should know that what is actually the connective tissue. In the last video also we have discussed about the connective tissue, that it is most abundant and widely distributed connective tissue among the others. In comparison to the others, it is most abundant and widely distributed into the human body, as well as it is mesodermally originated and highly vascularized, and main function is it is linking and the supporting. That is why it is named as the linking, and because of its special feature linking and the supporting, it is named as the connective tissues, right? So here first of all, let us see about the matrix and the cells. What is the connective tissue here? Connective tissue is just like a fluid. Okay, it is just like we are having some we can take the example of a cake. Okay, so we are having suppose a ground substance, that is a matrix, and in that matrix we are having some specific cells which are the fibroblast cells, From these fibroblast cells, some fiber-like structures are secreting, and these fiber cells will make the network everywhere into the body. Okay, and then here only we are having some specific cells, which is actually the areolar cells, means we are having some macrophages, we are having some mast cell. Okay, as well as we are having some these are the fibroblast cell, and we are having some acidophase, basophase, and some neutrophase are there, in which the headphone shaped nucleus would be there. Maybe the nucleus would be multinucleated. Okay, and maybe it is having the simple trilobe nucleus, okay, which is having lot of the granules, or maybe it is having the phagocytic in the nature. So on the basis of its function, we will see the different type of the cells into it, right? As well as we are having some other type of the cells, which would be like the adipose cells, in which complete cell is fully filled with the nucleus, and at the side there would be, at one side it is having a small nucleus, means complete cell is filled with the fat only, but at one side there would be a small nucleus. Okay, so that is what in a fluid, in a matrix, we are having some fibroblast cell. Okay, these are the fibroblast cell which are secreting the fibers. This is secreting the fibers. Okay, and these green are what? These are actually the macrophages, and we have seen macrophages means, macro means bigger and phase means eater. Okay, the cell which will eat bigger. Okay, the cell which will eat bigger molecule, bigger cell, bigger bacteria. Okay, and it is what? It is phagocytic in the nature. Okay, it would be phagocytic in the nature. And here we are having some mast cell. Okay, we are having acidophase, basophase, neutrophase. Simply we can say granulocyte. Okay, these are the granulocytes. Okay, as well as we are having the adipose cells. Okay, these are the adipose cells, in which this completely filled fat, and this one small one is the nucleus of it. Okay, as well as we are having the fibroblast cell, as I already told you. and some other cells are also there which will be present into it, but let us focus on these few things only. But remember, this yellowish fluid is what it is, the matrix. It is the ground substance in which everything is present. It is the ground substance which is given as matrix. As of our NCRT, we are having the term ground substance, so I have written here perfectly as per our NCRT, and but it is actually the matrix in which these all cells as well as the ground substance, everything would be present. So we can say in this complete ground substance, in this matrix, there would be the fibroblast cell as well as the ground substance in which some like specific cells are present, which will be functioning to kill the antigen, as well as it will help in the protection of the other cells for the growth and the development. Okay, so that is what here given is, this same diagram given in our NCRT in the form of this diagram. Okay, so here it is given as a macrophage. Here this would be the fibroblast cells, and we knows very well about the fibroblast cell which is secreting the fibers. These are what? These are the simple fibers. Okay, as well as here we are having the mast cell, and mast cell is given like it is having lot of the granules. Okay, so the granulocytic cells would be there, agranulocytic would be there. So these are actually the mast cell which we have seen in the form of a mastocytes or the basophil cells. Okay, so let me tell you, here it's a basophils or the mast cell, and this basophil itself will show you the three types, means it is going to give the secretion of the three type of the substances, that is the histamine, heparin and the serotonin. Okay, it would be secreting the histamine, heparin, as well as it will secrete the serotonin. Okay, so what is the function of the histamine, heparin and the serotonin here? Let us see that also. So histamine is what? Histamine is actually the it would be inflammatory substances. At the time of the allergic reaction it will secrete, so it is inflammatory. Okay, inflammatory, when it will secrete at allergic reaction, at allergic reactions. Okay, and what about the heparin? Heparin is the anticoagulant. This heparin word you will read very carefully. You will understand about the heparin into the excretive product in the and their elimination chapter about the heparin. Okay, there we will see that how the blood is circulating, how the blood is filtering with the help of the dialysis. Okay, so artificial dialysis would be there, and that heparin would be using when it is using, and when it is not, it is removing at the process of the dialysis. Okay, and now let us see about the serotonin. Serotonin is what? Serotonin is a neurotransmitter which will do the vasoconstriction. Okay, it will do vasoconstriction. Okay, so these are very important terms which we have seen. Excepting these three, we have seen some other cells also, like we have studied about the fibroblast cell, we have seen about the macrophages, histiocytes, and now we have seen the mast cell, which is actually the mastocytes. Okay, so macrophages is there, or as also known as the histiocytes. Okay, so it is the histiocytes. So this diagram is very important, so you should know about the each and every labeling of this diagram we given in our NCRT. But if something is not given, so you should know about this. Here adipose tissue they have given, adipose cells they have given here, fibers name they have given here. Okay, so here these are the basophase, neutrophase and eosinophase are there. Okay, and one more, adipose tissues, adipose cells they have given here in this diagram, as well as given in the separation also, like the fat storage, and the smallest, that is the nucleus. This is the one cell, this is the plasma membrane of one adipose tissues or the one adipose cells. Okay, this would be the one complete cell. Okay, so now let us see about the next term, that would be the adipose tissues. I hope these two terms would be clear. Okay, so like here loose connective tissue we have seen already. Okay, so this is completed. Like areolar we have covered, adipose we have covered. Now let us see about the another term, that is the dense connective tissue. In the dense connective tissue, we have seen the two. Again we have subdivided it, we have seen the subdivision of it, that is the dense regular and the dense irregular. Okay, it would be the dense regular and the dense irregular. Dense irregular. So dense regular is what? Dense regular tissues is actually having the tendon and the ligament. I told you in the last video also. So tendon and the ligament. Okay, so tendon is what is the meaning of the tendon and the ligament here? Tendon and ligament, for the understanding, you can take the code word for it, BTM as well as the BLB. Okay, so what is the meaning of it? So BLB means bone to bone attachment is occurring because of the ligament. It would be all because of the ligament. And bone to muscle there is a attachment, then that is because of the tendon. That will be because of the tendon. So here the tendon, here the ligament is given. So always remember, if the bone to bone attachment is there, if we are having one bone which is having the attachment with the another bone, okay, here we are having the another bone. Okay, so if the attachment with these two bones, then obviously here would be the synovial fluid. If we will see the joint, so there would be the synovial fluid which is filled with the here is the synovial membrane which is filled with the synovial fluid. Okay, so because of that we can say this is a part of the synovial joint. Okay, and here itself we will see that we are having the tendons. In this area. Okay, so the tendon is actually what? It is helping in the attachment of one bone to the another bone. So it is what? It is the part of the dense regular connective tissues. Okay, now let's see in the dense regular connective tissues. Achha, one more thing, if there would be the tendon, this orange one I have shown you in the form of a tendon. Okay, and what about the ligament? Ligament we have seen bone to bone. Okay, so one bone to another bone, sorry, I did mistake, one bone to another bone, it would be the ligament. It is the ligament. Okay, and what about the tendon? Tendon would be from one bone to the muscles. Obviously if it is having the bone, so there would be the covering of the skin over it. Okay, there would be the covering of the skin, so the attachment of this bone with the muscle, this is actually the muscle. Okay, muscle or the mask would be there, so that is because of the tendon. Okay, this is because of the tendon. Understood? So that is one. So now let's see, with the help of one diagram I will show you about this tendon and the ligament, so you will understand better here. First of all, let's see the ligament. Ligament is what I told you just now, that BLB and BTM. Okay, so here one bone, this is one bone. Okay, this is the another bone. So two bones are given, and with the help of the ligament these two bones are attached. See, this white part is showing you the ligament, and in between here is the synovial fluid. This is the synovial fluid which is filled into this cavity. Synovium is the cavity. Synovial fluid is filled into this cavity, and this membrane is known as a synovial membrane. Okay, this would be the synovial membrane. Okay, so here we should know that synovial fluid, synovial membrane and the synovium, these all are the part of the synovial joint. Okay, and the part which is helping in the attachment, that would be the cartilage. Cartilage will help in the attachment of these two bones and as well as the muscles also. Okay, so in between there would be the cartilage, this area, and outside we are having the covering of this joint with the help of the ligament. Okay, so that is what the one bone to another bone, there is attachment with the help of the ligament. Okay, I hope it would be clear to you now. Now let us see about the diagram which is given in our NCRT. First of all, this diagram is given here. These are the fibers which is arranged into a one direction only, like all the fibers are going in one direction only, not in any other pattern but in the same pattern only. Okay, so it is going in the same pattern means it is indicating that it is showing the regularness. Okay, it is showing the regular arrangement. But in the another diagram here it is showing that some are going in this direction, some are going in the another direction, different sides. Okay, so this is the irregular pattern. Okay, this would be the irregular pattern. So because of the irregular pattern, we can say among these two, you should tell me in the comment that which one would be more strong, whether regular or the irregular, which will be more strong. Okay, then I will tell you in the next video that what is the reason behind it, that which one will be more and which one will be more strong and which will be less strong, and why it is more strong. There would be a story behind it which you have always listened from your mother and the father in your childhood, behind it, that regular and the irregular pattern. Okay, so I will tell you in the next video, but first of all you have to tell me this all in the comment. Okay, now let's see about the next term, that is actually the specialized connective tissue. Okay, dense regular and irregular we have seen in the dense area, and dense connective tissue and loose in the here dense regular and dense regular we have seen. Irregular we will see in the pattern of the skin. Okay, because it is not in the same arrangement, so it would be we can say it is the fibroblast cell and many like the collagen that are oriented differently. This is present into the skin only, and regular would be in the form of a tendon and ligament. Okay, tendon and the ligament, and adipose and the areola already we have seen. Now let us see with very important term, that is the bone and the cartilage in the specialized